The French way is always to buy local and to buy in season. So even when I'm not in France, that's exactly how I buy. I buy things at their very peak, and then if I want them French, I just Frenchify. I'm making blueberry tart, fresh berries just held together with a sauce of their own, on a creamy base. Turkey Paupillettes with chestnuts and Brussels sprouts in one pan. French mashed potatoes pureed with bay-infused milk and plenty of butter. And Chris's sardines platter. My friend Chris's sardines on toast, but luxury sardines on toast. Otherwise, all local ingredients about to become French. I just love a French aesthetic. I don't know what they do, it's so effortless. It's just some little thing, and they make whatever they do distinctly French. I can never put my finger on it quite, but it fascinates me. So I'm trying that today, Frenchifying all my food. Starting with blueberry pie. It's going to be blueberry tart when I'm done with it. For a perfect tart shell, you need to weigh the pastry down while it bakes, at least at the beginning. You're weighing down the bottom, but you're also holding up the sides. It's crucial. Otherwise, the whole thing sinks down. It's very frustrating. So just go out and buy some beans and make a pretty bean pot and just have them ever at the ready. So that needs 10 or 15 minutes or so, and then you can take the beans out and just finish it so the bottom cooks too, because it doesn't go back in. Now, my filling. The French often put a pastry cream in the bottom of fruit tarts, but I have something a little simpler than that. Clean up my mess. If this were purely French, it would be a pastry cream under the fruit, but this is much lighter. This is fresh cream cheese, about a cup of it, and just a little creme fraiche just to loosen it up, like a quarter cup or so. You don't want it runny. Just loosened a bit because the cream cheese can be quite stiff. And some sugar. Not too much sugar either. The French don't like things too sweet. 2 tablespoons of sugar. And just a little bit of vanilla. Now, this is my trick with the berries. You need about half a cup of red currant jelly and a little water just to melt down and not be so thick. So I'm just dissolving the jelly, and what it's going to do is just hold the berries together. Once the shell is set, then you take the beans out and put it back in to finish at a lower temperature, 350. It needs about 10 minutes more. Just getting the blueberry berries ready. So then you just take your melted jelly and pour it on the fresh berries. And then this will reset once it's sitting on the tart and you chill it a bit. It makes them nice and glossy too. Now I just need my tart shell. There. So then once it's cool enough not to melt the cheese mixture, just put in a thin layer on the bottom. And then these glossy berries just tumble in on top. That looks French, doesn't it? Beautiful. I'm just going to chill it a little bit so that the jam sets. Perfect to go with my dinner in one pan.
Come over, and we'll meet again.
I'm putting a French spin on things that aren't French to begin with. This is squash puree, which I made because it's going to go with an entire turkey dinner made in one sauté pan. This is turkey Paupillettes with Brussels sprouts and chestnuts. Now these are slices of turkey breast. So you just cover them with plastic and then you want to pound them into a hand shape, really. Now, stuffing. First, an onion, of course, a little oil, just keep an eye on your onions. They should just be soft, not colored. Also, in the stuffing is more turkey. It's turkey stuffed turkey. This is ground turkey. Just crumble that into a bowl. Now, if you use turkey and don't loosen it up with something, it can be quite compact. I mean, turkey or pork or anything. So some breadcrumbs will just give it some breathing space. And completely un-French, but I couldn't resist putting it in, sage. In with the herbs, salt and pepper. Just move the onions down this way. Now just mix that together. Okay, now this water's going. So I'm just going to blanch my Brussels sprouts, a little salt. Now for these little bundles, I'm just going to lay them flat. Salt and pepper on the meat. So just take a ball-sized amount of stuffing, put it in the center of the meat, and then wrap the meat all around it. You need 3 little pieces of string for each one. Okay, once the Brussels sprouts are very close to being perfectly tender, you can drain them. Come back to those. Now for the real cooking. Bacon. I'm cutting little lardons, slivers of bacon. Just tossing them in frozen.
Come over, and we'll meet again. Come over, and we'll meet again.
Now these are going right in the bacon fat. I just took the bacon out for now because it's done. And I'm just browning these. Okay, once the packages have color, cognac to deglaze, about 1/4 cup. And then boil it down to about a tablespoon or so. It reduces really quickly. And then chicken stock, about 1 cup. Bacon goes back in. And then they just need about 15 minutes. So then add the Brussels sprouts just for the last 5 minutes. The other final festive ingredient, chestnuts. These were vacuum packed. You can get them in a can too, but make sure you don't get sweet. Now, don't forget the squash. Okay, it's 2 pots. Lovely little cushions. And a little bit of everything. Chestnuts and Brussels sprouts. It's so savory. Fantastic. Now you're going to think I've absolutely lost it. But next I'm going to get very French with a tin of sardines. There's a certain nonchalance that I admire in the French. They can take a pair of flamboyant, glamorous high-heeled shoes and wear them like they're just flip-flops. And they can take something humble like a tin of sardines and make it regal. Really. I was at a very nice dinner party once and my friend Chris served tin sardines as a first course. And it was so great, I'm copying. My friend Chris is the one who got me onto the sardine shop. All the fancy sardines. Of course, they have to be really good, so it's all about how you shop. Can't just be any old sardine or any old baguette. Has to be a good one. Then you get compliments. Paris is full of specialty shops, and this one specializes in tinned sardines. Bonjour.
Bonjour. Oui, oui.
All these sardines. I'm just trying to figure out what to get because it's nothing like tin sardines in a grocery store. But what makes these so special?
La caractéristique commune de toutes les conserveries qui sont ici, c'est qu'elles ne travaillent exclusivement que sur du poisson frais.
Only fresh fish.
Only.
Just fished.
Préparé dans les 24 heures après la pêche.
And made in 24 hours right after fishing. You can get them with a little bit of hot pepper. You can get them with lemon in it. Or you can get plain oils. You can get, this one's in butter even. And they all taste a little bit different. So you can have a whole tasting of sardines, and it's very special. Olive oil on top. Drizzle, drizzle. And the oven's at 400. I just want them lightly golden. I don't want them rock hard. I just want them crunchy. Crunchy on the outside, a little squishy inside still. Now, and these are the sardines I brought back all the way from Paris. I'll take 2. They last years too. First though, I also want some lemons. There, nice little lemon wedges. Now my toasts. Now here's how he served his dish. So you don't take them out of the tin because the tins show that you bought them at these amazing sardine shops. These are the white wine ones. And then, nice hot toasts get piled all around. And there's one more very, very important ingredient. Butter. Unsalted, unpasteurized, and cold. Ta-da! And I want to try one of these white wine ones. And a little squirt. Of course, you're supposed to have a glass of wine. Nice with the wine. Can't get too fancy about it. In fact, since I'm making the lowbrow high, I think I will make mashed potatoes the French way. I think making food French doesn't necessarily have to do with importing Dijon mustard and foie gras and all that kind of thing. It's more about a sensibility and applying techniques to whatever ingredients you have around. Potatoes are not strictly French, although they eat a lot of them. We make mashed potatoes, but not the way they do. The French don't make mashed potatoes so much as they make purée de pommes de terre, which is a really pureed mashed potato with lots of milk and cream. Salt in the water, potatoes in the water. Milk and butter, of course. And I'm going to heat that with some flavorings. A bay leaf, and a garlic clove, and maybe a bit of thyme. So the milk just comes to a boil. Don't let it boil all over the place. And then you leave it to infuse for 10 minutes. And that gives extra flavor to the potatoes. Once the potatoes are really tender, which these are, drain them. I'm peeling them now because that way they stay less watery. Actually, the skins just come right off. And now, my favorite toy, well, one of them, a food mill. And here's how this works. Just stick it right on top of your pot. You can't put potatoes in a blender, obviously, because they turn to glue, but they go very nicely through one of these. Any little bits of skin left on the potato won't go through, so you get just puree. It's amazing how much 4 little potatoes makes. Now for the fun bit. The good stuff. 1/4 cup. And then once the milk is boiling, back to boiling, you just beat in a little at a time until you have a smooth, creamy puree. Just look, the texture of this. There, serves one. I don't always make French things, but I like applying French techniques to ingredients that you can find anywhere. And I like taking local recipes and applying a little French touch. I made a blueberry tart, fresh berries just held together with a sauce of their own, on a creamy base. Turkey Paupillettes with chestnuts and Brussels sprouts in one pan. French mashed potatoes pureed with bay-infused milk and plenty of butter. And Chris's sardines platter, my friend Chris's sardines on toast. I wonder what would happen if I applied French techniques to, say, whoopie pies or tacos. What do you think a Frenchman would do with a taco? That's going to keep me up all night.